Hi, welcome back to the Anna Marie YouTube channel. I'm so glad to see you guys again. Today is the last day. Today's the last day. We did Virtues and Vices, and tomorrow's New Year's. So we're very excited that we are going to New Year's strong, healthy, mind, body, and soul, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So today's last topic for vices that we're going to talk about is gluttony. Gluttony. And believe it or not, gluttony doesn't just have to deal with actually overeating. We're going to get into that. It sounds interesting, right? We're going to get into that, and also we're going to talk about the virtue that goes with gluttony, and that is temperance. Temperance. And a lot of times it's like, oh, just holding back from drinking. No, it's not just about that. So I'm very excited to let you know, and I'm so happy that you're here with me. Yes, I love you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. So I hope that you enjoy. Subscribe to Anna Marie YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Please comment. I'm loving the comments, guys. I'm just letting you know. I thank you for your comments because I'm doing this for you, so I want to know how you feel. So I love it. Thank you for the likes, and share the video with your family and friends that you feel like they would benefit from it. I love you, love you, love you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that you have an awesome, fantastic, wonderful New Year's, and I hope that you enjoy. Gluttony. That is the vice that we're dealing with today. Gluttony. And gluttony is not just affecting how we eat. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than just overeating. It's deeper than just mindless eating. And that's what we're going to tap into today. Because we associate gluttony with just food, a lot of times we don't recognize that we have this vice in our life. So the purpose of us doing what we're doing today is that we're able to come to a point for what? We come to a point to see the vice, and that way we can walk and function. 1126, hey love. We can walk and function. Ella! We can walk and function in what the Most High has called for us, which is the virtues. John Wick, and what is the virtues? What is the virtue for gluttony? The virtue for gluttony is temperance. So we're going to talk about that too. So let's get into it. Gluttony, what does gluttony mean? Gluttony is a habitual greed or excess in eating. That's the specific definition of gluttony. But when you start thinking about what it's saying, a desire for food that defiles a man spiritually. So what are you trying to say? The desire is not regulated by reason. So when we're talking about gluttony, gluttony is a blinder. I'm blinded by the desire. Hey, Betty Boo. I'm blinded by the desire that I feel. That I'll take more and more and more of it because it feels good. So gluttony doesn't just have to deal with food. And we're stuck in the vice of gluttony because we just believe it's all about food. But it's not just about food. It's about the desire. A desire that we have, desires for pleasures and not with wisdom. A desire for pleasure and not for wisdom. Foreign, hey love. Do you see that? Thank you, Brandy, for the taps. I like it. I like the way it feels. I desire this thing so much that I can't think straight. Wow, that I'm not using my knowledge to see if this thing is good for me. It feels good, looks good, but is it good for me? Okay, that's what gluttony is talking about. So what are you saying? It's a desire for pleasures, but not using wisdom. Desire for pleasure and not for wisdom. I like the way the food tastes. The food tastes good, but is it helping me? Right? Is it helping me? Wisdom says that I can't be eating this because this is not healthy, but I like the way it tastes, so I'm going to eat it anyway. I'm bored, so I like the way food tastes, so I'm going to eat even though I'm not hungry, even though I just finished and I'm full. I'm still going to eat because it tastes good. All right? So I'm doing something because of the pleasure of it, but not for the initial benefit. Not for the initial benefit. Why do we have alcohol? Well, alcohol helps us to have a good time and loosens us up, this and that. But do we need to get drunk or do we have to get intoxicated? Can we just have the feel-good feeling and keep it moving? But do we have to get drunk? A lot of the things that we're in a vice from, guess what? It originally started out good. You know, the reason why we're so blind to it, because it's not bad to begin with. Oh, that's hard. Yeah, because what are you telling me not to eat? Yes, love. You're telling me not to eat? No, I have to eat. Food is good for you. We need food to survive. So yes, I have to eat. So that's why we're so blinded by gluttony, because it doesn't start out bad. You playing a video game, there's something wrong with that? No, it's entertaining. It brings fun. It's fun to us. Sometimes it's a stress reliever. But playing the video game for 24 hours a day, is there anything healthy about that? So wrapped up in the video game that you choose not to eat, you choose not to exercise, you choose not to go out and do physical activities. Oh, so now we started out with something that was good. Lauren, welcome forward. Have to eat, yes, but eat to live. Right, come on, Prime. And eat to live. What type of live are you talking about? I'm talking about live, the live that the Most High speaks of. Life and that more abundantly. I'm not just talking about just living 9 to 5. Wake up, work, eat, sleep. 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 That's not what has been called for us. When the King is talking about live, he's talking about what God has called for us in our life. And if I'm wrapped up in gluttony and these desires and pleasures of something, and I heed to them, I satisfy them without wisdom, then I'm actually doing more harm than good. What do you mean? Well, if I love to eat something and I keep eating it, eating of the dead only because death. Right. Come on, Prime. I'm eating something, and I'm telling you, gluttony is just not about food. I sacrifice something to get a certain, let's switch to money. I sacrifice something to get a certain amount of money. I save my money. I sacrifice a lot. I even sacrifice my eating right. I even sacrifice helping my body physically. I sacrifice a lot to make sure I get this money so I could buy what I want. Now that I buy what I want more. So I do it again. And I keep doing it because I want more money, and that is gluttony. We want more than we need. And listen to me. I'm not saying that it's bad to save. I'm not saying that it's bad to have good things in life. I'm not saying that. But when it harms you to get it, that's what I'm talking about. So whatever the desire is, that's what gluttony's talking about. Whatever the desire is, we're so blinded by the pleasure in it that we don't have no wisdom in it. We don't use wisdom because we're so blinded by the pleasure. And that's what happens to us. Why is it years down the road that I'm dealing with cancer, and I'm dealing with high blood pressure, and I'm dealing with diabetes, and I'm dealing with tumors, and I'm dealing with all this stuff? Why am I dealing with this? Because of the gluttony of decisions that I've made. The pleasures was better than the knowledge. The pleasure was better than the wisdom. Wisdom says I should not eat like this because it's going to cause me to be overweight. And the more overweight I am, the more unhealthy I am, and the more diseases that I can have. The way that we get blinded, this was said, the way that we get blinded by this gluttony, we get blinded by it. Why? Because it's not initially bad to begin with. Eating is not bad. Money isn't bad. Alcohol isn't bad. Come on, sex isn't bad. Let's get real. These things aren't bad. But when we disregard the consequences because we care about the feeling more, we care about the pleasure more, that's when we make it a negative thing. That's when it becomes gluttony. A lot of times we're stuck in this gluttony vice. Why? Well, I'm supposed to be eating. We're supposed to eat to live. No, not eating like that. We begin to justify it because the thing that we're doing isn't bad, but how we're doing it is bad, right? We justify it so we don't feel like we're in the vice. Well, in my family, everybody's always big in my family. Everybody's overweight. It's just in my DNA. It's just how it is. We make excuses for it because it's initially a good thing. Playing video games, that's a bad thing? No, it's not bad. But we can cause these things to be bad. We can make it negative for us. Why? Because we're dealing with our health. we begin to transform it to being harmful to our health. You see that? When it starts affecting our health, okay, sunflower, when it starts affecting our health, is bigger than what it is. No, you can't justify it anymore because you're sick now. I'm not sick. I went to the doctor. I love this. I love this. Overweight. And we're going to get deeper. Not even overweight. Overweight, going to the doctor and saying, oh, I got my checkup, everything's good. The doctor said I got high blood pressure. The doctor said I don't have this. The doctor said I don't have that. My doctor, we have to have a balance. That part in all things. The yin and the yang. It's always like that. This is how the Creator has made us. This is how He has made life. Have a balance, right? We have to find a balance. We need the balance. Thank you, sunflower. Thank you for the taps. Thank you for the donuts. We need the balance. It's okay. Thank you, Lauren. No, it's fine. Thank you, Betty Boo. Yeah, you guys. Thank you. Okay, awesome. We need the balance, right? So the overweight person goes to the doctor and they say everything's fine. Yeah, you're overweight, but your health is good, blood is good. Come on, everything. There's no diseases. You know, you're really good. Let's get even deeper. The person that is average size, not overweight, goes to the doctor and the doctor says, "Oh no, you're fully healthy. Everything's good. I don't see nothing wrong. No high blood pressure, no this." But yet both people eat horrible all the time. Ice cream 24/7, cake 24/7, a whole bunch of carcinogens, processed food, fast food, all this stuff all day 24/7. No nutrition, no exercise, no nothing. That means that they're healthy? To what standard? To the doctor's standard or to the Most High standard? Because I'm a little bit confused, because gluttony has to deal with sin. Why would gluttony have to deal with sin, Candy? The Most High has made food for us to eat, and we're eating it. And if He didn't want us to enjoy the food, then we wouldn't find pleasure in it. Come on, I'm playing devil advocate right now. The Most High is who made the food. So if the Most High made food good and it tastes good, what, He made a mistake, Candy? What you trying to say, Annie Marie? No, He didn't make a mistake. He wants us to do it. But how is it sin? How is it sin? Because I'm eating and I'm eating what He gave. He's the one who made food. He's the one who made us to be hungry. So why are you saying that I'm sinning? The sin comes from defiling the temple. That's what that means. What are you talking about? Well, if I drink excess alcohol, I become intoxicated and I'm harming my liver. I'm harming my blood. Oop. If I overeat, then I jeopardize myself dealing with high blood pressure and shortening the life that I've been blessed with. You know what's deep? The avenue of gluttony always leads to a shortened life. So that's sin. The sin is that the Most High has blessed you with something and you choose to not care about it. I choose pleasure over wisdom, living an abundant life. You know what? Well, okay, I'm gonna get in devil's advocate in here, because I heard all type of excuses, all type of stories. Okay, sunflower, but you say I choose pleasure over living an abundant life. So then somebody says, well, if I'm not doing what I like, then I ain't living. I hear it all the time. I hear people that are diagnosed with cancer, and I say, this is what you should do, and they say, well, what is a life living when I'm not enjoying myself? Okay, we're just being a little bit real, right? This ain't no life to live if I ain't enjoying myself anyway. If I want to have a drink here and there, then if I can't do that, then what's the point? I'm not living life. So, people that I know have been diagnosed with cancer, well, you got to eat this, you got to eat this. Well, what's the point of living life if I can't enjoy it? So what do you enjoy? You can't tell me what you enjoy is living, because your version of living is you killing yourself. Wow, that's deep, Candy. No, it's real. You can't tell me that you enjoy living, but what you're doing to yourself is shortening your life. Well, it's not a life if I don't like what I'm doing. But who said this is what you like? Or has this been programmed in your mind for you to desire the very thing that's killing you? What? Has your life been set up in a way, society affecting our families, affecting our generations, and this is how it's supposed to be, eating refined sugar, scarfing down carcinogens, being so obsessed with money. We're going to get deeper. It's not just about food. Running by instant gratification, dealing with sex, intimacy, alcoholism, throwing away time, gaming, movies, live 24/7, watching other people's lives. All of these things that I'm talking about was never bad to begin with. But our decisions, we have transformed it to be harmful for our health. A lot of something isn't good. It don't matter if it's good. Come on now. A lot of iron isn't good. A lot of spinach isn't good. A lot of pineapples isn't good. Why? Because there's always a balance. You heard what the king said. There has to be balance. It always has to be balance. And that's the same thing with our pleasures. KK, thank you, love. So just because it wasn't bad in the beginning, I begin to justify it when I make it harmful for my life. Oh yeah, but it's just a little bit, this wouldn't have been like that if I didn't have to, And we care about these pleasures more than we do about the wisdom that we have to know what life is and what death is and what it entails. Yay, KK, thank you, love. Gluttony is overly hearty appetites of any kind. Don't just put it in a food category. Overly hearty appetites of any kind. Right? Only thinking about the moment. Right? Come on, sunflower. But why do we do it though? Candy, so why do we do it? Why do we come to a place to be overly hearty, to have hearty appetites, real strong appetites for these things? Why does it happen for us? What do we? So when you say why is it happening, my question to you is, what are you covering? Why do you need to feel that pleasure so much so that you harm yourself? What are you hiding? What is missing that you're trying to fill? Serenade, hey love. I'm talking to you, king and queens. What is missing that I need to exaggerate my appetites in this thing so I can feel good? Why don't you feel good without it? And that's where we're missing the picture. We're missing the point. Jay, thank you, love. Honcho, Queen, welcome forward. Thank you, Prime, for the taps. I have a gluttony because I'm trying to fill a void. I have a gluttony. Thank you, Jay. I have a gluttony because BJ love. I have a gluttony because there's an empty hole in my life and in my spirit and in my soul that I can't fill. And the only thing I do and can try to do is to cover that feeling. I don't know what goes there. I don't know what I have to put in there. I don't know what went missing. But what I do know is when I have this good pleasure feeling, I don't think about what's lost. I know that when I eat, I'm happy because it feels good for me. And if the Most High had called me to be in a life that feels good, then this must be okay. Come on, sunflower. And I'm saying this, why? I'm saying this because it's me. I'm saying this because I've been there. I'm saying this because I know it too well. And like I said, I didn't know when I was in it that I was living gluttony. And gluttony is the best friend to depression. Come on. Gluttony is the sister and the brother to depression. They just go hand in hand. Because there's a reason why you're trying to numb the feeling of something. Something that you're trying to replace this good feeling to cover the pain. I've never been enough if it's from outside of it. It will never be enough if it's from outside of us. Come on. Say that thing, Queen. Whatever we get from the outside will never fill it. We will never be full from the outside. We will try, but everything from the outside, guess what, is only instant gratification. The only time I could live in a lasting gratification, longevity, forever. Renwick, welcome forward, King. Love you. So nice to see you this morning. The only time I can make this work is if it's coming from the inside. Come on, Jay. Coming from the everlasting source. If I will ever try to fulfill myself on the inside with what is on the outside, it will never work. It's never enough. Why? Because it goes away too fast. It's instant. That means it's for a moment. So if the pleasure that you get from something, oh, okay, Most High, I hear you. Guess what he's saying? If we use something, that's not the pleasure that you have been promised. Or we're going to get a little bit deep. What do you mean, Candy? The Most High didn't promise you that pleasure. That's just a part of life. I'm a little bit confused, Auntie Marie, what you're saying. The Most High had asked us to live life. That's just a part of life. You eating and you enjoying it, that's a part of life. You're trying to put the pleasure that comes from life in the part of the abundance. The abundance of pleasure is not what we're trying to force. Ooh, that part. We try to force it when we're overeating because we want to keep feeling good. But no, we were promised to keep feeling good without anything. Why? Because we have Him. What is on the inside? That's going to bring me to a place to not desire these pleasures, to try to cover up this pain, to try to cover up this void that I don't understand and I don't know where it's coming from. And all I know is I don't like the feeling. And what I do know is I know how to feel good. So as many times as I have to do it, if I got to eat over and over again, if I got to spend money over and over again, if I got to play video games all day over and over again, if I got to sleep my life away because my fantasy, my dream is better than living, so I don't have to feel this pain, then that's okay. Whatever the gluttony is okay for us as long as we don't gotta feel the pain. But that's not the pleasure that has been promised to you. The abundance of life and the pleasure that is everlasting, it comes from the inside and it has nothing to do with anything that is tangible. Ooh. Come on, sunflower. You know what the Most High is doing? He's looking at you and he's saying, how dare you feel that unworthy? That you have to keep the same hard pattern over and over, and the same hurtful pattern over and over to get pleasure. The Most High says, how dare you feel unworthy? In a cycle of pain to cover the pain. In a cycle of pain to cover the pain. So what are you talking about, Honey Marie? A cycle of pain to cover the pain? I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Because when I do it, I get pleasure from it. There's no pain. Sweet tea, thank you, love. There's no pain in it. That's why I'm doing it so much, because it's pleasure. You would rather, all you have done is exchange the immediate pain for the long-term pain. Think about it, King and Queens. All you have done is exchange the immediate pain, that void that you're feeling, with a long-term pain. It may feel good right now. I'll take the imaginary. I'll take the okay, sunflower. I'll take the pretend. I'll take the pretend pain. This is what we do. Instead of the real pain, I'll take the pretend pain for now. Temporary fix. Come on, Prime. I'll take the pretend. I'll take the pretend non-pain. I'll take the pretend good feeling. For now, just later down the line, if I got to deal with it, is what it is. Doing anything to not feel right. Anything to not feel the pain right now. I'll take the fake happiness for now instead of the real pain. Come on. I'll take the fake happiness for now and deal with the major pain later. Because guess what? You know what's deep? Is the pain that we're covering in that void, that we're covering over these desires and pleasures, so we don't feel the pain that we have now. The pain that we are causing our body is so much greater than the void that we're trying to fill. The pain and the damage that we're causing our body is so much greater than the pain that we're not trying to feel today. The pain and damage that we are causing our body in the future, so much greater than the pain that we're not trying to feel today. And just because you're giving me this fake satisfaction and this fake feeling that I don't really, I could just cover it up for now. Let's go in our imaginary world like nothing's going on. But they say if you step into this imaginary world, then you know you're going to be hurting yourself. You know you're lessening your life. It's okay as long as I don't got to feel. It's like taking the Band-Aid off a wound and not allowing it to heal. Right. Let me get deeper, Prime. Okay, King, thank you for feeding me some knowledge, and I'm going to go with it. It's like having a wound that's infected and you put a Band-Aid on it. No antibiotics, no disinfectant, nothing. You have a wound that's infected and diseased, and you choose to put a Band-Aid on it. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Guess what happens? Somewhere along the line, you know there's something wrong. Come on. You know there's something wrong. You can see the infection. But you choose to be blinded and use the Band-Aid. And the Band-Aid is the pleasure. The Band-Aid is food. The Band-Aid is money. The Band-Aid is video games, alcohol, drugs, social media, people. That's what the Band-Aid is. And we use that Band-Aid until the wheels fall off. Come on now. And that one cut that was affected, 7, 8 years from now, we go to the doctor because the Band-Aid just doesn't stick anymore. And they say, excuse me, King. Excuse me, Queen. Why didn't you come before? Oh, I didn't want to deal with it. You know how many times the doctor hears that? I didn't want to deal with it, Well, if you would have came before, even a year ago, you've waited 8 years. If you would have came a year ago, you wouldn't have gangrene in your leg right now. And now it has to be amputated. We lose more by not addressing the issue than covering it. Do you hear me? We lose more when we don't address the issue and choose not to deal with it. than what we would if we would just deal with the situation. What do you mean my leg has to be amputated? I seen it was infected. It's not a big deal. Can't we do something? There's nothing you could do now. Why? Now we have to accept and own our consequences. What? It's real life. Not going from 157 pounds to 257 pounds. And at the end of the year, I'm looking at myself like, what the are you doing, Candy? Annie Marie, what happened? What are we, how did we get there? Now I got to work double, 5 times as hard to get back to where I should be. If I should have just listened to myself in the first place and let wisdom work in the first place, but I choose to ignore. Why? Because my pleasures made me blind. Come on. My pleasures have made me blind. What happens with the gluttony, even though it wasn't bad to begin with, it comes into a place that we lose control of it and it controls us. Did you hear me? The gluttony, whatever your gluttony is, whatever your gluttony vice is, whether it's food, entertainment, alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever it may be, you come to a place, come on Sunflower, you come to a place where you lose control over the thing that wasn't initially bad, and it becomes bad now because it controls you. It controls you now. It's not just a pleasure that I do because I like how it feels. Now it comes to a place I have to have that pleasure. Come on. I have to have that pleasure. I have to feel this good feeling. I can't live without it. Come on now, it got real deep now. There's something, if you got to go all out like that, there's something you're covering. If you got to eat more and you're full, there's something that you're covering. There's somewhere along the lines you're saying life isn't good enough without this. Ooh. Somewhere along the lines you're saying life isn't good enough without this cake. Life isn't good enough without this food. Life isn't good enough without alcohol. Life isn't good enough without money. And I'm talking about money to be spending and shopping sprees and store. And that's what I'm talking about, overspending. We need money to live. Let's not be crazy now. Life isn't good without video games. Life isn't good without sex. Life isn't good without drugs. Okay, Sunflower. I said this earlier. The Most High is looking at us and saying, why, my king, and why, my queen, do you feel so unworthy? Why do you feel like I would make you be like a dog begging for scraps over the pleasures that I have created for you? Wow. The Most High is saying, why do you feel I created you like a dog to beg for scraps over the pleasures that I have created for you? I find pleasure in my life because I already feel whole without anything. Do you see that? I find pleasure in my life because I already feel whole with nothing. So it comes down to, king and queens, why are we in this vice of gluttony? Why are we in a place that we're allowing the very thing that was good for us and transform it to something harmful to our health? Playing video games all day is harmful to your health? Yes, because you're not being active. You're not eating correctly. We wasn't created to stare in front of a screen and play video games for 12 hours. No, that's not what the Most High had in mind. It's entertainment, but our life should be entertaining enough. That's deep. Weakness in the human body, yes. Same thing with sex. We wasn't created to have sex all day 24/7. nothing else. Don't go to work 24/7, just doing it just because it feels good all day long, all the time. Whatever you can think of in your mind that you do, and you think that it's crazy that you could do it 24/7, then you know then you know right there it has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with what you're always supposed to have, what you're constantly supposed to have. Does it sound crazy that we can have sex for 24 hours a day? Yeah, that sounds crazy. Does it sound crazy that we can eat 24 hours a day? Yeah, that sounds crazy. Does it sound crazy that we're going to spend money 24 hours a day? Yeah, that sounds crazy. Does it sound crazy that we're going to drink 24 hours a day? Yeah, that sounds crazy. Because everything comes in balance. And if we're not balancing it, and the way we know it's balanced, if we don't feel like we can't live without it. The way that we know it's balanced, if we feel like we can't live without it. That's the way we know it's not balanced, if we feel like we can't live without it. Well, the thing that you feel like you can't live without, do you think it's wise to do 24/7? No. So then something is wrong. When somebody looks at me and we talk about them having cancer, somebody that I love the most in the world, they talk about them having cancer and they say, well, I still want to live because it's something that you enjoy. Well, maybe somewhere along the lines you have desired something that you're not supposed to. We wasn't supposed to be dealing with refined sugars. We wasn't supposed to be dealing with processed food. We wasn't supposed to be dealing with genetically modified animals, genetically modified organisms in our food. That is not how it was originally. That's not how it was supposed to be. If I never had to taste Kool-Aid, I wouldn't have a desire for it. It pissed me off when I first learned about food and learned about what's harming us and learned about all this stuff. It got me mad because if I never had to taste it, then I would never have to desire something that's killing me. And that's what got me pissed off. But at the end of the day, I have to retrain my taste buds to get back to the original, to get back to the source, to get back to the Most High and what He has created for us. So has God created these devices and these things that harm us so much, that kills us? Why would a God give us life so that we can live it to kill ourselves every day? Then it can't be good for me. Because if I'm waking up in the morning and with my first breath thanking God that I'm breathing, but I live the whole day killing myself, what does that say? What is that saying? Let's be honest. What does it really mean? What substance is in your prayer? What substance is in your thank you? If you know how you live is killing you. And I'm talking about through stress. I'm talking about being idle time. I'm talking about whatever it can be, eating too much, spending money where you start being stressed out because you can't pay your bills anymore, drinking all day 24/7, you're never in your right mind. But yet we have, and the other token, we ask and thank the Most High for us seeing another day. Wow, that's deep. We thank God for us seeing another day at the same time as we're killing ourselves, lessening our days. We're not going to go into this new year for show for face. We're not going to do that. We're going to wake up in the morning and say, thank you, Most High, for giving me this breath. Thank you for giving me, come on, sunflower. We're not showing face in 2022. We're going to say, thank you, Most High, for giving me this breath and allowing me to live again to be better. Allowing me to live again to try to be better. Allowing me to live again to try to show you that I appreciate the breath that you give me. We're gonna be straight up with Him because it's not like He don't know. I'm going to try today. I'm going to try God. I'm going to try to be better to show you that I care about the breath that you're giving me, the life that you're giving me. I'm going to work towards not killing myself. And you know my heart, and you know that it's not just going to happen. He knows already. It's not going to happen overnight. He ain't stunning that part. He's just looking for you to try. I'm going to eat a little bit less today. I'll skip out on the soda today. I won't go do the online shopping because I really don't need it. When I would have bought something, I didn't today. That's a start. That's a step. I'm gonna find my way out of this gluttony. And how do we find our way out of the gluttony? We latch on to the virtue of temperance. What is the virtue that will kill the vice of gluttony? Temperance. Temperance? Not having too much alcohol? That's not the definition I'm talking about. Temperate is a moderation or voluntary self-resistance. I choose not to kill myself because I'm bigger than this. I'm more than my simple pleasure. I have temperance because I'm more than my simple pleasure. My life means more than this good feeling of eating. And you know what? I'm empowered. Listen to me. I'm empowered by this feeling of eating good, that I'm going to make sure that the food that is good for me tastes just as good as the food that's not. Why? Because I'm more than a simple pleasure. And if God has made pleasure in food, then I'm going to find the things that He wants us to eat that's not going to kill us. That's not going to kill me. It's not going to hold me back. When you talk about temperance, temperance is moderation in action, thought, and feeling. What do you mean, action, thought, and feeling? Temperance is moderation in action. What? In thought, how? And in feeling. So when I talk about temperance and moderation in action, and what are you doing? Whatever it is you're doing. Drinking, video games, spending money, sex, food. Temperance is moderation in what you're doing. Any of those things are what you would be doing. Temperance is moderation in thought and how. So, all right. So let's just say money. My gluttony is money. Temperance is going to help me because I'm going to moderate what? I'm going to have moderation. I'm going to moderate money. Remember? Temperance is the action. The action is money. Is the what, right? And then the next thing is the thought. How? Okay. So if it's money, how am I going to moderate money? Okay, I'm going to calculate my funds. I'm going to put a little bit on the side that I can use to spend, right? And, okay, let's just say it's $100 in my check. I have $100 to do what I please for the next 2 weeks. I'm not going to spend all I got, and then I don't have for my bills. So that's the moderate. That's temperance. I'm getting temperance because I'm taking the action of me having money, spending money, and I'm thinking about it, the thought. Okay, so how am I going to moderate this? I give myself a little something on the side to do what I need to do, and the last thing is feeling is why. And this is the deep part, King and Queens. How can we rest temperance in our heart where we don't deal with this gluttony? The strongest and the most important thing is the feeling. So if I said temperance is the moderation and an action, a thought and a feeling, and the strongest thing is the feeling because it leads to the why. Well, why would I separate my money, and why would I just choose to spend a certain amount? Because your health means more than your simple pleasure. And that's the why. My life is greater than the pleasure that I'm supposed to feel. The problem is we're fighting for the pleasure that is not promised to us. I'm going to say that again. We are fighting, King and Queens, for the pleasure that's not promised to us. We was not promised instant gratification. That wasn't that life and that more abundantly that God is talking about. Are we serious right now? Are we serious right now? God has not promised us instant gratification. We are fighting for the pleasure. When we're in gluttony, we are fighting and causing and creating a pleasure. We're making it. The pleasure that the Most High is giving us, we're not supposed to work for. Work to feel. That's what I mean. I'm not saying work for not to live a life that He has called us to live. I'm saying we're not supposed to slave every day, tooth and nail, to feel this thing. No, we're just supposed to feel it. We're just supposed to have that abundance in life. Like he said, life and that more abundantly. But we are creating this abundance of pleasure. He didn't call us to work for pleasure. He's already sacrificed and died for us to feel it. Are we catching this right now? If you hearing what I'm saying, put a 1 in the comments. I just want to see how many people with me right now. He hasn't called us to a place to live in instant gratification. That is not the promise. Newsflash, king and queens. Instant gratification is not the promise. He has promised us pleasure everlasting. Did you hear that? Pleasure everlasting. So why are we trying to create the very thing that we like to have everlasting pleasure when it only can result in instant gratification? Okay, sunflower. This is not what's called for you. That's why I'm saying he looks at us and say, how dare you feel so unworthy? Most High is saying to you, why do you feel like I would make you work for the very thing that you desire? And what I mean by work is eat 24/7 to feel good 24/7. Spend money 24/7 to feel good 24/7. Drink 24/7 to feel good 24/7. Sleep 24/7 to feel good 24/7. Play video games 24/7 to feel good 24/7. I hope this is hitting home for some people, because it's real. He's saying, how dare you feel so unworthy that I would make you work for the very thing that I promised you? We're lying to ourselves. When we live in a place of instant gratification and this gluttony, we try to make instant gratification everlasting, and it will never work. Yes, okay, sunflower, yay! Right? It hit me this morning too. We're trying to make instant gratification be everlasting pleasure, and it's not possible. That's why we always end out worse at the end. That's why we hurt our health in the end, because it's not supposed to be like that. You have to start looking for your pleasure somewhere else, king and queens. And what will help you is temperance. Temperance will help you to find the place of that everlasting pleasure that you don't need to work for. Remember, the promises of the Most High is yea and amen. That means that it's already done. So you're working towards really hard to something that does not have anything to do with your promise. That part. Come on, Lauren. Always seeking pleasure. Strive and put your energy in the everlasting pleasure. Search and look for that thing. Find that thing. You're exhausting more energy in these instant gratifications through gluttony than to find your purpose and what you're supposed to be living in and the abundance of life that has been called for you. Man, I feel somebody right now, and I'm going to try not to cry to pop my eyelashes off. But I want you all to say, tomorrow's a new year. And my king and queens, we made it. We've been through some hard things this year. And I don't know your life, and I don't know, I wasn't there, but I just feel it. I feel the energy on this live. I feel kings. I feel you kings. I feel you queens. This year wasn't easy, but we made it. Today's the last day. Today's the finish line. And in this being the last day, I want this to come across your heart. Empath, hey love, I want this to come across your heart. Say, I am more than my simple pleasure. Say it. I am more than my simple pleasure. Say it. I am more. Yes, love, thank you. Helping me get closer to my goal. I am more than my simple pleasure. Say that. I am more than food that I eat all day just to feel good. I'm more than the money that I spend all the time that I don't have. I'm more than the sex and booty calls that I keep exhausting precious energy exchanging with people and connecting to their souls that I'll never see again. My life is worth more than staring at a screen and playing video games all day and wasting precious life that I can never get back. Time I can never see again. I'm more than this. I'm more than this life I'm living. I have been called for greater than this. I've been made. I wasn't made. I wasn't made by the earth. But the greatest being in existence just breathe life into me. Life that man can't even create. And what I mean by that is not artificially. The greatest entity and being in existence gave me life, created me. Thank you, sunflower. Yay. He created me. Thank you, love. I love you. Thank you, Empath. Thank you, everyone, helping me get closer to my goal for the month. He created me. He didn't just create me to eat, to be happy. He didn't just create me to have sex, to be happy. He didn't just create me to drink, to be happy. He didn't create me in his image to spend money to be happy. Gluttony is a reflection of our level of happiness. And I know that's hard to hear, but it's real. It's real. And we got to hear it because somebody has to wake us up. Somebody has to help us to be better in 2022. Gluttony is a reflection of our true happiness. I'm gonna be real transparent with you, King and Queens. There's a reason why I never had alcohol in my house, and I'm talking about throughout the years. Because one thing I understood in wisdom is I go through too much in my life that I choose not to address, to have something that will ail me, to try to press down and hide my emotion, and choose another way of living instead of actual life. I knew that if I had alcohol in my house, I would choose to numb that feeling of not being enough, to numb that feeling of not having my life together, to numb that feeling of stress and worry. Come on, I'm just being transparent with you. So I couldn't have alcohol in my house because I would always go to that bottle. And I never was an alcoholic, but I knew if I had access to it in my house, I sure enough would have been. That's where the temperance is. I gotta know my moderation because I know my worth. I gotta keep the balance because I know my value. And even now, I could drink, but I can't keep drinking because then I will use that thing and it will become a vice for me. I can't. Special occasions here and there I'll do it, but I can't just drink because I will latch onto that thing, and that will be my handicap. Thank you, certified. I'm just being real with you guys. So me, Candy, Annie Marie, that's why I choose not once in a while, even sometimes for holidays I will, but I find myself, I know me. And let's not ignore who we are. We know ourselves more than anybody else. I know that if I start tapping into stuff with food, I know I could just get real lost too. If I know I allow myself to do certain things, I'll lose track. Come on, Balboa. For King, welcome for King. Love you. I know I'll lose track. A little cheese here and there ain't gonna hurt nothing, Candy. Then sooner or later, all you eating is cheese. And isn't the reason why you stop is because you wanna live life and that more abundant life, a long life. With long life, he will satisfy me. He will satisfy me with long life. With long life, he has promised us. I can't go against his promise. Yep, that damn cheese, right? Come on, Balboa. So I can't fool myself. Let's just be real. I can't fool myself. Moderation and wisdom. If I know I can't eat more than one thing of cheese a month, I ain't eating cheese. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to show you that we know us more than we want to say we do, because we don't have that self-restraint and we don't want to deal with it. But we got to come to a place to love ourselves more than that simple pleasure that we like to feel. Know that we're more worthy than that simple pleasure that we like to feel. No, we're more valuable than that simple pleasure that we like to feel. You see that? So you know what? That's it. I'm going to take temperance and I'm going to take back control of my life. And not allow these things that I'm supposed to have pleasure with control my life. I should be able to control my whole life and choose to take the pleasures when I want to. When we deal with, hey Smash, hey love. When we deal with gluttony, the pleasures control our life. We no longer have a say of when we want the pleasure. It's just automatic now. We feel like we need it. The gluttony has took away your choice, king. The gluttony has took away your choice, queen. That's real right there. It has took away your choice. So now who are you living for? Are you living, thank you, Balboa. Are you living for the pleasure that you seek? Or are you living because the Most High has gave you breath to see another day? It's deep. When we're locked in gluttony, we're no longer in free will. You'll hear me? What do you mean? You can't go without eating something. Full meal, double, fast food, whatever it is. You can't go without it, right? Think I have control, but it's been controlling me. That part, that's what I'm saying. Well, I could choose whenever I want to eat it. Can you really? That's like an alcoholic. I could stop whenever I want, but can you? Because you need alcohol to function. Okay, Smash. So no, it's really controlling you. So the pleasure that you have worshipped, that means that you think about 24/7, that you honor, has controlled your life now. And now you are no longer your own. Now it is living for you. And you don't have control, and you are not living in free will anymore. Because you can't choose not to do it. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there with food. I've been there with shows, reality shows. There was a time that I used probably 8 months of that year, days off, watching TV for 12 hours. No lie. That was my day off, working 80 hours a week. And on my day off, I'd had the shows recorded, and I sit there and watch reality shows for 12 hours straight on my day off and go back to work. I did that for almost a year. I'm just being real. Did it with food. I did that for a long time. All I'm trying to say is that take back control of your life. It's a new year. And when I say that, to take control back over your life, do not set yourself up for failure where you're setting these goals that you cannot achieve. Period. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want you to talk about it. Do not, I'm going to say it again, do not set these goals up that you have for 2022 over exceeding the what you can actually do. These impossible, unable to attain goals. Thank you, Sunwater. Thank you for helping me closer to my goal. Helps me to be here. Thank you, love. I appreciate you. Yay. Oh, I could change it. We're down to 33. Yay. 33K. There we go. Champ, hit love. So, do not set these unattainable goals for 2022. I am goddess, hit love. Okay? If you want to lose weight, we ain't going cold turkey because we're not setting ourselves up for failure. We're going to do little by little. If sex is a gluttony for you, you're gonna start cutting out some things, cutting off some phone calls. Not all the time, not completely, but we're gonna take our time to do it right. I'm telling you, all you need to do is try, and it goes a long way. He said, if you give me a step, I'll give you a mile. That's what the Most High says. I know you can't just do it all the time, all by yourself, and that's okay. That's what he's saying, and that's okay because that's why I'm here. So don't put these crazy goals up. I'm gonna lose 150 pounds in 2 weeks. No, we're not doing that. The reason why I'm doing it is not just for now. The reason why I'm doing it is for a lifestyle change. And a lifestyle change is going to take much more than me just doing it overnight. So that I could just fall right back into what I was. No, I'm going to make the habits that I have, break them. And that has to consist over a certain amount of months for me to break these habits. And that's what I'm going to do. So don't step into these unattainable goals. No, you're going to make a goal that makes sense. Because you know what? We decide that we're going to fail from the door because we make these unattainable goals and we say, well, it's not going to work for us. And we quit before we even start. We have decided that we failed before we even tried. Because we make these goals so crazy for us. Oh, there's no way I could do that. Never mind. Don't lie to yourself. No, we care about ourselves enough. We're going to make sure that we do it right.